The aftermath of RERA is what we are focusing in urban reality today. The trust between builder and buyers has been broken only for one reason alone, that the industry has been rampant with delays and delivery. Abhay Upadhyay, very clear today, and we heard it from the horse's mouth straight, that this is not a retrospective act. So for all ongoing projects, it's not the past delays which will be considered for penalty. It will be the regulators going to give them new deadlines for completion of the project, and only if the developers do not meet that deadline will they be penalized, or penalty interest at 10% will start. How worried are you about that? I mean, this actually came as a bit of a surprise to us.
Well, Manisha, the sentence which you mentioned just now from horse's mouth, I don't know who was the horse, but my thing is...
The regulators, the Madhya Pradesh regulator.
Okay, the Madhya Pradesh regulator, maybe it was his personal opinion. You see, I have gone through the Act. The Act is very clear in its intent when it has covered the ongoing project. And the entire Act, if you read, there is no differentiation between the ongoing project and the new project. So all the sections which are applicable for the new project are also applicable for the ongoing project. So there absolutely should not be any confusion within the minds of the consumer that they are eligible to get compensation.
So that's your point of view, Abhay. I want to add another question before you answer, because we are kind of short on time. What I need to understand from you is what happens when the delays are beyond the control of the developer, because now it will be clear who really delayed the project. Then what? Are we as consumers and buyers willing to consider the fact that regulator will provide some leeway to the developer? Don't look at the inordinately delayed projects. I'm talking about projects which are delayed by 12 months, 6 months to 12 months.
I'm answering your question. This is very easy to answer, because the question, as far as ongoing projects are concerned, there is no bar on continuing construction activity. The bar is on the selling part. So because of these delays, because rules have not been notified or authorities have not been appointed, there is no question of any delay with regard to project construction going on. So the inordinate delay part is not there. Whatever the delay, obviously the builder will have a say when the regulator proceedings go on, and the consumer will also have a say. And I'm sure whatever is provided in the Act, accordingly judgment will be given by the regulator or adjudicator.
All right.
As the case may be.
All right, fair enough. I think both points that you've made are very, very important. Ramesh and I respond to the point, and if you've gone through the Act in detail, because, you know, all of us are so confused. There's one regulator which says Act cannot be retrospectively applied, and we will have to give new deadlines. But then here is Abhay Upadhyay, who's been fighting for last decade to get this implemented. He says, no, the Act does not make any differentiation between ongoing projects and new projects, and both have to pay the same penalty. What is fair, what is not fair, and we will conclude with that, because we are actually pretty much out of time.
Manisha, the Act clearly says that all projects which don't have a occupancy certificate will be covered under this. There will be some states which will try and give some amount of flexibility to the developers, but I think there will be a huge amount of public outcry in these states, whereby the governments will be forced to get back to what the central is saying. I would also like to just highlight one thing about the brokers. What do brokers do in this time? Because there's so many states which don't have rules. You could come back, the broker could be doing a deal today, could be doing a deal in the next few weeks, and you could come back later on and say the broker transacted on a place which was part of the RERA Act. I think that all the authorities need to also look at that aspect. What are the projects which the brokers can market today? It's very clear that he can only market ones which are registered. He needs to maintain those records. He cannot falsify or market things which are not there. So I think more clarification is required on that front also.
I think, Ramesh, we heard from the secretary who's looking after this at the Housing Ministry, who said ongoing projects have time up to 31st July to register, and they can continue to both advertise and sell. So I think that clarity did come in today. But Abhishek, my question to you in terms of ongoing getting the penalty for the past delays as well, I think that is what most consumers and buyers were hoping for. That, you know, all those earlier agreements are so one-sided. Builder charges you 18%, you pay 5 rupees per square foot for delays, or you're paid 5 rupees per square foot. So that parity doesn't seem to be coming in most state RERAs.
So let me break this up into two parts. One is As far as the applicability of the Act is concerned, it's very clear. It has a kind of retrospective effect. But as far as the implementation is concerned, it does not have retrospective effect. It was very clear right from the beginning. So I hope I can answer the first part. That's how it is applicable. So it won't go back. And having said that, as far as the grievance part is concerned, I heard the gentleman talking about his grievance. It's not like that before RERA, people in this country never got justice. We have the consumer forums. We've seen Competition Commission being very active. So if there is a grievance for delay or any other similar grievance, you are definitely free to still continue litigation in the consumer court and get your appropriate remedy that's there.
But Avikshit, we all know how long that litigation takes. We all know in cases like courts asking, Unitech to pay up, the monies haven't even gone to consumers. Well, the debate will continue. The fact is that we are all grappling with an absolutely new situation here, new scenario here. And I'm going to conclude. Rajiv Piramal, thank you very much for joining me. Mr. Parikshit Mehta, thank you so much for joining me as well. Ramesh Nair, glad to have you with me. And of course, gentlemen, thank you very much for being here. We'll continue this discussion on RERA because there's just so much ground to cover. Abhay Upadhyay, your inputs always extremely important. And yes, we are going to conclude on just one little thing. Say what you do and do what you say. That's what RERA should enforce amongst developers. Now, and developers follow this maxim, I don't think there's going to be a problem. At least for new projects, the missing trust between the buyer and the builder will be restored. For ongoing projects, the debate continues, and we'll continue to cover all corners on RERA and how you as a buyer can continue to demand protection. Thank you very much for joining me on Urban Reality.